Gabriel Martinelli has finally scored after weeks of looking off his game. But does this one goal mean he's really back? Or are there deeper issues that Arsenal needs to fix? Welcome back to All About Arsenal. In recent times, Arsenal fans have been very frustrated with Gabriel Martinelli, and they are within their rights to do so. If I take you back to the 22-23 season, when Arsenal challenged for the Premier League title after finishing fifth in the previous campaign, Martinelli was one of the standout performers in that campaign, scoring 15 goals in the Premier League alone. Odegaard also scored 15 goals. Saka scored, I think, 12 goals. Gabriel Jesus scored 11 goals. But what was key was that because of the performances of Gabriel Martinelli, Emile Smith-Rowe lost his place in the team when he returned from injury. However, as the campaigns progressed, his explosive pace, his direct runs, and his sharp finishing have been on a decline until he finally got on the score sheet against Athletic Club. So looking at Martinelli's stats at who scored, this season have been quite atrocious. In 3 Premier League games played, where he has started 2 games and come on as a sub in 1, he has had 0.3 shots per game, 0.3 key passes, 0.3 dispossessed per game, 0.7 foul per game, 0 dribbles. Like, as at the time of this recording, Martinelli has not successfully gone past any of his markers in any of the 3 games he has played so far. His shooting has been atrocious, his decision-making has been very poor, and Arsenal fans have become very frustrated with his performances. He has lacked confidence in one-on-one situations, something that he used to be very good at in the past. He's always isolated on the left-hand side. Defenders quickly double up on him, and most importantly, his decision-making has really been very slow. Let me take you back to when Arsenal played against Liverpool in Anfield, when we had that lovely counter-attack where Martinelli had an opportunity to play the ball to Victor Gyökeres, but he kept on dallying with the ball and went all the way to the byline before the ball was taken away from him. It was a very good opportunity for Arsenal in the transition play that have led to a goal, but Martinelli's decision-making played a big part in killing that chance off. It was no surprise that when Arsenal played against Leeds in the second game of the campaign, Noni Madueke started ahead of Martinelli, and he actually did very well. When Arsenal visited Anfield, it was the same thing. Martinelli started ahead of Eze, and Arsenal fans were actually disappointed that happened. And they were right, because in the 70 minutes that Martinelli played against Liverpool, he had 0 chances created, had only 6 accurate passes, had just 13 touches within the opposition box, made 2 recoveries, 1-1 ground ball, 1-1 aerial duel. But the key attacking stat that was expected for him in that game, he was nowhere to be found. Apparently, Eberechi Eze, who played 20 minutes, actually had a better impact than Martinelli that played 70 minutes in that game. So the struggles were very, very clear to see. And when Arsenal played against Nottingham Forest after international break, no one was surprised when Eze started ahead of him. So what changed in the game against Athletic Club? Arsenal started with Eze as expected, but in the 71st minute, Eze was substituted for Martinelli, and his movements looked very, very sharp. His off-the-ball movement was very great. He made his straight-back diagonal runs, and he looked more aggressive in his passing. And then his moment of breakthrough came. Trossard dinged the ball over the top. He had a very great first touch to bring the ball in his stride, ball down on goal, and place it beyond Unai Simon, rolling back the heads of the Martinelli that we've always known, which was a good thing. He had the same scenario against Spanish opposition last season when Arsenal played against Real Madrid, where he had the opportunity to bear down on goal as well, picked his spot against Thibaut Courtois, and place it into the net. So basically, when Martinelli has those chances, he has been able to bury them, even though he had a chance like that against PSG, and he failed to do so. But what was key to note is that the opportunity that Martinelli has had, bearing down on goal in that central position, it has been to devastating effect. So what are the kind of tactical adjustment Arteta can make to allow him thrive? One would be to give him the freedom to drift centrally at times and trusting him in high-pressure games. So right now, Martinelli is always isolated on the left, and as Arsenal's left fullback always inverting, he keeps the weight. But when Martinelli played very well for us in the 2023 season, where he was scoring those goals, One key thing to note was that even though Zinchenko was inverting, there was a certain Gabi Jesus who was going to the inside left channel to allow him drift centrally. He needs to allow that tactical style to make him get better in his game. And that would involve notifying Victor Gyökeres to do the same. Gyökeres actually has the ability to go into the inside left channel. But when he does that, we need Martinelli to drift centrally and make the opportunities when they are afforded to him. So how can he improve? There are four suggestions I have. One be for him to be more unpredictable with his dribbling. Martinelli is very one-dimensional when it comes to his dribbling, and unfortunately, he hardly gets past his man. Sometimes he can cut inside, sometimes he can go wide. He needs to add that diversity to his game. You can see the likes of Madueke, you can see the likes of Saka, you can even see the likes of Ibrichi Easy, who, when they take on their marker, they have different options of what they want to do. Martinelli needs to improve on his dribbling to at least allow him get past his marker because he has the pace to do so. Two, he needs to improve on his link-up play. His link-up play has been very, very terrible. If you look at the right-hand side, you see how Odegaard, Saka, and of course, Timber or White have been working very well. And even when Madueke came into the fray, he has basically blended into that same style, working very well with the right triangle. And even when Eze was on the left-hand side, you could see how he was working well with Rice and Calafiori. So it's actually possible. Martinelli just needs to, study what Eze is doing and improve himself on that, because if he doesn't link up, if he continues to remain isolated, then it will be a problem for him. The third suggestion I have is for him to take more shots. You can see what's going on the right-hand side. Once Madueke has a very clear sight on goal, he shoots the ball. Most times, keeper might make a save. Most times, he might get to a rebound for a striker to score. But Martinelli hardly shoots. His head is always on the ground, and he doesn't allow himself to see the big picture where he can actually take on his marker, create a space for himself with his pace, and shoot the ball. He has been too hesitant in the final third, and that has to change. And finally, he needs to build confidence in terms of getting consistent minutes, in terms of getting his rhythm right. Obviously, he has been playing very well for Brazil, but he needs to replicate that form at Arsenal as well, because this campaign, we're trying to win all trophies, and we need all hands on deck to be at their A game to ensure that we go to the promised land. Martinelli's goal against Athletic Club was a positive sign, but it's just the first step. If he sharpens his decision making, regains his confidence, improves his dribbling skills, and learns to shoot more, Arsenal might have their winger back at his explosive best. So what do you guys think? Is Martinelli back or not? I want to know your thoughts in the comments. But till then, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us at All About Arsenal for more Arsenal content. Till then, come on, you Gunners.